Good afternoon, it's 4 p.m. We are bringing you the developing news and the stories behind the headlines. This is StoryCon, I'm Regina Lay. Our top story this Friday, August 29th. Malacanang says President Bongbong Marcos is ready for a lifestyle check and will disclose his SALN, or Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth, as needed. That was according to Palace Press Officer Yusek Claire Castro, who stressed that the entire executive branch is prepared for such scrutiny, but warned against politicizing the issue. She added that the Ombudsman, an independent body, will determine the process for the lifestyle check.
Sinabi po natin na ang Pangulo, ang buong ehekutibo ay ready for lifestyle check. Kaya nga po ready po lahat. So kasama po yung SALN. Mauna, mahuli man ang Pangulo, kasama po yan.
Matag-Ob Leyte Mayor Bernie Tacoy says the Public Works Department bypassed the LGU when it comes to the flood control projects. In an interview with Sa Totoo Lang on 1PH, Tacoy revealed that the DPWH never consults the local government and only sends accomplishment reports. The mayor particularly flagged a flood control project in Barangay Riverside, which collapsed on August 25 during heavy flooding. On the other hand, Leyte Congressman Richard Gomez, who has been linked to the project, said the structure was still under construction when it collapsed. Gomez has since slammed Tacoy for talking about the issue, but the mayor is open to a discussion with the congressman.
Sana po magkaroon tayo ng dialogue sa DPWH, sa kontraktor, at siyempre kay Congressman Richard Gomez sakaling gusto niyang kunin yung side natin. Gusto po natin yung transparency unang-una. Sana man lang ngayon magkakaroon na naman ng budget hearing ang Kongreso. Sana man lang ay bago mag-uumpisa ay malaman ng bayan natin ng Matag-Ob o magkaroon tayo ng chance na may presentar natin yung mga priorities natin.
Meantime, the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines, or NUJP, called out Congressman Gomez over his recent post accusing some media practitioner, including One News, of being part of a supposed spin against him. Gomez questioned similar topics sent to him by media organizations who were merely asking him for an interview. The NUJP clarified that Gomez has been linked to the Matag-Ob Leyte structure that collapsed, and naturally the media wants his side on the matter. The group also raised concern over the lawmaker's post, which had screenshots of the media workers' names and numbers, which is a potential violation of data privacy. The names of two guest coordinators of 1PH and One News were also included in the screen captures. And the NUJP stressed that disclosure of media practitioners' identities on social media put them at risk of harassment and fraud. The group further reminds the actor turned politician that the media asking questions is par for the course, and that, quote, if Gomez preferred to not speak about the issue, a simple no comment or a lack of response would have sent the message without imputing malice or exposing our colleagues' private information. And here are the other stories that we're watching this hour. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, and Anbank has upheld the cancellation of Duterte Youth Party list's registration. COMELEC said the group's motion for reconsideration was without merit, citing failure to publish required documents and making untruthful statements. The ruling also slammed the group's mass substitution of nominees in 2019, calling it a mockery of the party list system. The Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH, has temporarily suspended the issuance of authority to travel abroad for all officials and employees of the agency effective Friday, today, August 29. Secretary Manny Bonoan said the order will remain in force until November of 2025, except for personal trips that are due to urgent medical reasons. The directive comes amid ongoing investigations into questionable flood control projects. And the Interior Department has denied claims that Police General Nicolas Torre III was removed for refusing to buy firearms. The agency said there was no directive to purchase 80,000 firearms, and it added that both DILG Secretary John Vic Remulla and Torre agreed that the purchase was necessary. And the Energy Regulatory Commission has revoked all provisional authorities to operate issued to Siquijor Power Corporation. That is for alleged multiple violations of operational and regulatory requirements. Energy Secretary Sharon Garin said the decision follows worsening power outages in Siquijor, where residents endure daily brownouts lasting up to 11 hours. Joining us today, we don't have Ed with us today, but we have Storycon's resident political heckler, Ronald Llamas, still on the road.
Nothing is moving.
You mean on the road or in government in general?
Both. Hopefully, lifestyle check will move.
Oo nga. Well, we have some movement on it. Sabi ni President Marcos, he's ready to disclose his SALN. So that's a big first step, right?
Yes. Last night din, nabanggit din niya dun sa wake ni Mar na talagang dadali niya ito sa logical conclusion. Which means filing charges no, dun sa mga concerned. No? At ayun, alam niya na hindi pwedeng rhetorics lang ito. Hindi lang ito pwedeng performative politics. Kailangan talaga dito effective politics.
Absolutely. That's really good news. And sana nga we can see this through to fruition. Now, let me bring in...
Sana maayos yung traffic.
Tawagan natin...
Especially Friday traffic.
Tawagan natin... Friday payday traffic. Tawagan natin si Transport Sec Dizon, if we can. And from the Philippine Star, let me bring in Editor-in-Chief Amy Pamintuan. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Reg. Happy Friday, everybody. Hindi lang si
Happy
Presidente
Friday.
magpapa-lifestyle check. Pati daw yung Office of the Vice President nag-issue na ng statement. Sila din daw, they're all ready.
Oh, everyone's ready. Great. Sinong...
Oo nga
Do we have any more clarity on which agency is going to conduct the lifestyle check?
Di ba yung initial order ng Malacanang kanya-kanya muna? So we're presuming na ang mauunang magpa-lifestyle check yung head ng agency.
Okay.
Para magkaroon siya ng authority to supervise the lifestyle check. Pero ngayon, iniisip nila, multi-agency yan with, I think it will include civil society.
Sorry.
And,
I digress. Our EP was just mentioning na ang wake na pinuntahan mo, Ronald, to be very clear about it, is the wake of the mother of Mar.
Mother ni Mar.
Hindi
Mother.
yung wake ni...
Mother ni Mar. Hindi si Mar.
Hindi siya
Correct.
Mar.
Just to be very, very clear, kasi I think na-shock yung executive producer natin. Sabi niya, ha? Did he say wake ni
Yan
Mar?
ang problema ng nata-traffic eh.
Yung wake ng nanay ni Mar Rojas. Okay.
Doon din si Tito Sen. Nagkwentuhan din kami. Tito Sen. Congratulate ko siya. Tapos marami nandun. Si Ambassador Babes Romualdez. Nag-alaskahan din kami.
Pero you talk to Bongbong, ano?
Eddie Boy Locsin. Hindi, yung mga kausap niya, tinatanong kasi siya saan dadalhin ito eh. Sabi niya, seryoso ito. Andun siya for more than an hour eh.
Si ano yan si BBM yan
Si BBM, kasama niya si First Lady.
Sinabi niya he will take it to the logical conclusion, ha?
Yes. Andun siya almost 2
Yun ba
hours.
yung word niya? Gagawin ka na namin reporter, ha? Yun ba yung word niya? He'll take it to the logical conclusion.
Sabi niya, seryoso siya rito. No?
It's serious. Sige.
Yung exact words, hindi ko sigurado. Ano ba yun? Sabi niya, seryoso siya rito at kakasuhan niya yung mga concern.
It's not surprising na matagal siya doon, Ronald, because maybe a lot of people have forgotten that he's actually quite close to Mar Rojas, no? Si President Marcos.
Yes. And his wife is an Araneta.
Araneta yan eh. Yeah. Araneta. Kaya relatives by consanguinity.
By consensus.
Affinity.
Ano yung what else did he say?
Full force doon ang management tsaka mga stars ng Billionaire Channel.
Mm.
Walang 1PH tsaka TV5.
Ikaw nga yung representative.
Oo nga.
Yeah.
Kaya no, di ba, ikaw na yung correspondent namin.
That's why we sent you. Ano pa yung napag-usapan in terms of their investigation into the flood control projects? Anything new? Or kay General Torre?
Wala naman. Kami, mas reminiscing kami. Nandun kasi mga former cabinet secretaries ni Pinoy. So we're reminiscing while people are coming and going. Mas yun yung nangyayari. Although yun, congratulate ko nga si Senator Tito Soto doon sa kanyang mga statements.
Oo nga, mga speech na, no?
Sabi ko, magaling. Yung tag team nila ni Ping Lacson, Senator Ping Lacson.
Si
Yeah.
Tito Sen ba, is he helping in the investigation that's being conducted by Senator Ping?
Well, ang proposal kasi niya, magbuo ng independent body.
Oo.
Nakasama yung civil society, church, mga disinterested people, no? Na
With
hindi
the expertise.
tainted ng corruption, pero may expertise. Halimbawa, siguro former COA Commissioner Heidi Mendoza, no, hindi siya na-taint ng corruption unlike other COA people. Tapos alam niya how the system works, no? Yung mga ganun ba? Yun ang proposal ni Tito Sen. Ano, kung yung investigators are not very credible,
Yeah.
di ano mangyayari doon sa investigation?
Yeah. Parang Zarzuela lang. As
Pero
Vice
fina-finalize pa
President
yata
said.
kung sino nga exactly yung mag-investigate.
Yes, paano kung yung mga
Na-finalize pa.
agencies will investigate themselves? Medyo kulang. Dahil parang bilang lifestyle checks before eh. Halimbawa, yung panahon ni GMA, nagbuo pa siya ng office para dyan. Di ba? Pero sobrang unpopular yung Arroyo administration for corruption charges. No? Nung panahon ni Digong, nagbuo pa sila ng PAGSIC. Yung PAGSIC, yung Presidential Anti-Corruption, Anti-Graft Office. Pero wala ka namang narinig na nakasuhan. So, yung ganun ba?
Kaya ayaw ni Ombudsman yung mga lifestyle check kasi.
So usual
Sabi niya,
sana
no?
ito ngayon na hindi just the usual rhetorics.
Oo. But you know, it seems like, well, sana nga, there is real momentum behind this. And today we learned from Justice Secretary Boying Remulla na mayroon daw, there was a lawyer representing a contractor who approached him that said they were willing to testify. The contractor was
May
willing
feelers na.
May feelers na kay Justice Secretary Remulla, and this supposed eyewitness or whistleblower just wants the protection, assurance for their protection, right? When they do come out and start revealing things. So,
Yan naman
hopefully,
yung sinabi ni Senator Lacson, di ba? Sabi niya, may mga alam din daw siya, especially the smaller contractors na napilitan lang makisayaw dun sa kalakaran. Kung hindi sila magkakaroon kasi ng negosyo. Sabi niya, they can talk, they can testify, at aayusin nga kung ano yung proteksyon na pwedeng ibigay sa kanila.
okay.
Sana mabilis din sana yung pagpili ng ombudsman. Dahil crucial yung magiging role ng ombudsman. Siya yung in
Kailangan
charge.
tapusin pa yung mga interview kasi, di ba? Marami aplikante.
Day 2 today.
pa lang.
Day 2 ng interviews for the Ombudsman today ng JBC. But okay, let's stay on the flood control issue and let's bring in our first guest for the day. We are talking to Albay Governor Noel Rosal. Good afternoon, Governor. Nasa kotse din on the road din si Governor. Can you hear me, Governor?
Nakamute po kayo,
sorry.
Governor.
Sorry,
Nakamute po kayo.
Sir, nakamute po kayo, sorry.
Mute. Napindot yung ano. Ayan na.
If you could just bear
Hi,
with us for
Governor.
a bit. You're still on mute,
Nakamute
sir.
pa rin po. Nakamute pa rin po.
Okay. So, we are
Kung
trying
i-phone
to
patch na lang kaya.
we are trying to get a hold of Governor
Oh.
Noel Rosal. But if I could
Oh.
just segue a little bit to another thing that's been brought up by this flood control issue. Itong si Congressman Richard Gomez, of course, put out a statement, not a statement, sorry. So we've been inviting him on the shows, right? Kasi the Leyte mayor, Magtaob, Leyte mayor, has been making grave allegations against Congressman Gomez, saying implicating him in the flood control projects, right? So just to set the record straight, a couple of those screenshots that Congressman Gomez posted were from our network. Okay, so in fact, yung very first one was from this show, StoryCon, and that was because yesterday, when we were thinking of people to invite to the show, tinignan namin, okay, who are the ones in the headlines right now, right? Who's in the news? And so we thought of Congressman Gomez kasi nga, the mayor has made grave allegations, and we thought maybe it's, we should listen to his side on the issue. We should give him a chance to explain. And that's why our guest booker reached out to Congressman Gomez na hindi naman natin alam that he was going to screenshot everything and impute malice in all of these guest invites. These are standard invites, right? There's nothing extraordinary or unusual or, malicious about any of these invites. Of course, the topic is all the same kasi nga he's in the headlines, right? Precisely because of the allegations that the mayor made. But just to be very clear, in case it's still not clear to some of our viewers, walang collusion dito, right? Nobody got paid to invite him. The only reason we did so was because he's in the news.
Ano exactly yung banat na sa atin, Reg?
Sabi niya...
I don't think it was during the show. That's an invitation, di ba?
Hindi.
Yeah?
Just before the show. I asked for...
Yeah, that's before the show, not the show.
Yeah.
Just before the show...
It's an invitation.
Correct. So just before the show...
Ano yung banat niya specifically sa ating mga staff?
Well,
na nag-invite sa kanya?
sabi niya, his message
Pareho
was,
daw wording.
look at the similarities from all of these agencies asking questions. Alam na alam mong merong nagkukumpas. Alam na alam mong ginastusan.
Simply by inviting him?
Simply by inviting him.
Pareho yata yung wording ng invitation.
When in fact,
ng question, ewan ko.
right,
Hindi ko alam yan.
Yes, when in fact we were just trying to invite him to get his side on the matter. And of course, pare-pareho yung wording because isa lang naman yung topic that we're talking about,
Yung issue,
which is the allegations of the Magtaob mayor, right? Of course, it's gonna all sound the same because all the news networks and the outlets, even Inquirer is there. We're all chasing the same stories for the day, right? And that's all there is to it. There's no collusion, there's no bribery, there's no corruption, there's no payments that were made here by anyone. These are just our guest bookers doing their job, inviting the top newsmakers for the day. So I just wanted to set the record straight on that. Kasi, even after he did that, even after he posted, we still reached out to him to ask him to come on the show and give him a chance to explain his side on the matter, right? Kahit na tinitira na tayo, kahit na he wrongly accused us of something, business as usual. We still have to invite him to come on the show. But so far, I don't think he's accepted any invites yet to guests to talk about this. Yeah.
Nawala si
Grabe
Nawala
naman
si Governor.
Grabe naman yung sensitivity niya for a public official, ah.
Yeah.
Panoorin na lang niya yung bayad kong programa bukas. Yun.
Ay, yun may bayad yun? Which one?
Oh, yun. Yun, babanat ako. Dito, hindi ako makabanat eh.
Okay. Let's try to circle back to Albay Governor Noel Rizal, if we have him on the
Phone
line
patch na lang kaya.
again.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Governor,
Ayan na.
can you hear
Hi,
me?
Governor.
Hi, Governor. Nice to see you again.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So, ito na, because we're talking about misrepresentations in media, clarify ko lang, the reason we invited Governor Rosal was because
Yeah.
actually Albay was on the president's list of provinces that cornered the most flood control projects in the country. In fact, pangilan po kayo? Number 5?
Number 5.
Number six, with 273 flood control projects, according to President Marcos. That's in the last 3 years. So, could you talk us through this number? Mataas po ba yan? Mababa? What is the context here?
Well, good afternoon po again. Alam nyo,
Opo.
hindi tayo magtataka niyan dahil yung dalawang na-mention na contractor, yung SunWest and Highton, is based in Albay. No? Based in Albay po yan. Kaya, yan number na yan. Actually, ongoing pa ang pag-inspect namin. Pero based sa initial submit na listed ng DPWH, malapit tayo dyan. No? Maraming project dito sa Albay.
Governor, can you tell us kung ano-anong klase yung mga flood control projects na yan? Dredging po ba yan? O yung sinisimento yung mga gilid ng waterways? Ano po kaya sila?
Actually, it's a combination. Meron dredging lang, merong dike lang, or merong dredging lang. No? So sa ngayon, andito nga ako sa isang barangay sa Ginubatan, yung barangay Masarawag, no? Na dumadaan
Yes.
na yung tubig sa kalsada mismo. No? So nagkakaroon kami ng consultation. Ito dapat ang mga lalagyan ng mga flood control, pero ito ngayon yung nakita natin na wala. No? So patuloy pa ang investigasyon namin.
Sino po yung namili nung karamihan sa project? DPWH po ba yan? Ano yung proseso sa probinsya nyo? Do you get to give inputs to the DPWH? Saka yung iba ba dyan, local projects?
Actually, supposedly under the law, dapat lahat ng program sa project mag-emanate dapat yan, di ba, sa local development plan
Local.
ng mga LGUs. Pero dito, lumalabas, kami na lang ang pinapadalahan ng DPWH na merong project na na-release para sa amin. No? Kaya minsan, hindi na dinadaan sa LGU, sa mga barangay. No? Kaya nga ngayon, marami dito ng mga mayor at former mayor nagsasabi na hindi nila alam yung mga projects. No?
But Governor, is that believable that wala kayong alam of what's going on in your backyard, especially for provinces that have hundreds of flood control projects over the past 3 years? Is
Well-
that necessarily believable?
Well, ako kasi kakabalik ko lang kakabalik ko lang I was elected in 2022 but 6 months lang ako, 'di ba? But kakabalik ko lang, but based on the initial na investigasyon ko sa mga mayors saka sa ating Provincial Engineers Office, halos lahat pinapadalahan sila, mag-uumpisa na ang projects.
Tapos po yung actually merong statement yung mga mayors, about 70 mayors at madadagdagan pa yata. Pareho po kayo na sinasabi na binabypass daw sila ng DPWH sa implementation of projects. Yun ba yung SOP ba yun? Yun ba yung talagang you were a former governor, bumalik kayo. Ano ba talaga yung wala bang rules diyan?
Actually,
Ano ba yung
may
protocol
rules
dyan?
dapat dyan,
Dapat ba kayo
dapat.
yung mag-earmark tapos sasabihin ng DPWH, eto, umpisa na namin. Tapos, sino yung magmo-monitor?
Yeah. Actually, dapat ang proseso ganito. The LGUs will submit the programs and projects sa Regional Development Council o tinatawag natin RDC. Yan ang isusubmit natin sa DPWH for funding. Dapat yan. Mahirap na magsalita. Pero dito nakita ko, yung mga district engineers, which yan baga hawak yan ng mga congressmen. Parang sa tingin ko, yan ang nangyayari. Yung district engineer, sila na nagagawa ng lista. Then of course, siyempre, didepensahan ng Congress yan, ng congressman yan doon sa pag-submit ng budget, yung tinatawag nila na National Expenditures Program or NEP, no? So, ito ngayon nangyayari, kaya karamihan ng mga mayors sa governor hindi alam yan, no? Yan ang sitwasyon ngayon. Siguro maganda itong eye-opener na ginawa ng ating Pangulo.
I'm sure you watched the privileged speech of Senator Ping Lacson, sir, no, sa
Yes,
Senate.
yes.
He broke down kung saan napupunta yung mga kickbacks, and he said, for instance, there were 2 to 3% that goes to what's known as reseta, which is na parang napupunta sa DEO, sa District Engineering Office. Pero meron ding napupunta sa local officials where the project will be based. Tawag dyan royalty or lagay, which is or passing through yung some of the euphemisms na binibigay sa politikong may control sa distrito kung saan i-implement yung project. What do you know about this?
Yeah, ako ang masabi ko kasi nga walang control ang mga ibang mayor and governors. Maybe ang sinasabi ni Senator Ping Lacson based sa kasi nakita ko nung mga grupo niya nandito kasi may mga allocated budget pa ganyan, hindi ko kabisado pero talagang nakaporma yan down siguro sa hindi lang siguro baka sa project engineer meron pa yan kasi nga hindi talaga sa amin directly yan kaya lahat talaga yan naka-centered or naka-anchored sa DPWH district.
I mean,
Sa nakikita nyo ngayon sitwasyon, Governor, ano yung suggestion na pwedeng gawin para mabawasan yung opportunities for commissions, for corruption? Ano po kaya ang pwedeng gawin sa sistema?
Ang number one yan, alisin natin. Dapat yung paglagay ng project galing sa Kongreso, yung pag nag-allocate sa district, dapat siguro i-centered natin doon sa local government. Kung ano ang mga requirements ng ating mga mayors, kasi sila talaga ang directly na magbe-benefit or sila ang apektado. So ako sa tingin ko, sundin lang natin yung batas na yung mga request sana ng mga mayor saka mga local chief executives sana doon ibaba sa DPWH may check and balance bago mag-umpisa at ang proyekto dapat manggagaling mag-emanate sa local government.
Pero actually, yun yung National Expenditure Program yun ang sinasabi ng DPWH, kukuha sila ng input sa local government and then they will prepare the NEP, pag-uusapan yan dun sa Development Budget Coordination Committee Kaya lang nga, pagdating sa Kongreso, yun ang nangyayari. Nagkakaroon ng insertion.
Sorry,
so yun palang mga insertion, hindi pala bumubusina sa local government yun.
Pero, Governor, yung
Tama ba yun?
Yes.
Governor, yung
May
NEP,
busina ba yun? Yung NC insertion sa local government?
Maybe even before the insertions, yung NEP kasi, dapat nung binubuo yun, kinukuha yun sa mga LGUs So, ang sinasabi
Hindi,
niyo
yun
ba...
ang sinabi ng DPWH.
Sinasabi niyo ba,
Yun
Governor...
ang sinabi nila, that they get it daw from the LGU.
Ang sinasabi niyo ba,
Pero
Governor,
sabi nga ni
hindi nangyari
Governor,
yun?
nagkakaroon na insertion.
O, hindi nangyari yun sa Albay?
Hindi, kasi alam mo, sa Albay, nakita ko kasi we have 3 districts, may mga project na nagagawa na ng listing talaga ang DPWH, So, sa ngayon, nalalaman na lang ng mga mayors na meron pala silang project na ganyan.
So, inuulit ko, Governor, hindi kayo nakonsulta. Hindi kayo nakonsulta.
No, kasi ako baga matagal na ako na mayor, Matagal din ako nagsilbi sa Legazpi.
Yes.
Would you believe, tatawagan ang engineering ko for a meeting para sa notice to proceed na. Sabi ko, ba't meron ng project, hindi naman kami kinonsulta kung tama yon, Kaya nakita ko, mayroon kasi ngayon, masyado nagiging target natin ng mga congressmen. Pero talaga nakita ko, ito ngayon ang sitwasyon Yung mga district engineers natin, masyado nakapokus doon sa congressmen na naka-assign sa kanya, dapat sa local government. Kaya nangyayari ito na maraming project na nasasayang.
In general though, I'm not saying sa Albay nangyayari, but in general, kasi for all the local officials that we've spoken to, lahat sila, they all say, walang coordination, hindi dumaan sa amin, and so on and so forth. But to be honest, sometimes it's hard to believe, Governor, because a lot of these yung provinces, magkakakilala yung mga yan, right? So for instance, the governors and the mayors would know who the district engineers are, right? Ikaw ba sa probinsya nyo, do you know the district engineer in your district?
Yeah, pero ang district engineers po, hindi reporting sa governor.
Yes, correct. I agree.
And
But
hindi reporting also for the mayors, pero kaming sariling provincial engineers.
yes, but you would know each other, right? And usually may courtesy yan. They would
Yes.
do the courtesy of like telling you, okay, these are the projects that we're working on. Not necessarily asking your permission, but they would at least inform, right?
Not at all times, no? Meron silang ini-inform ka, pero marami nga, yung sinasabi nga ni Mr. Llamas ng mga insertion, doon na naging problema natin. From 1 billion, nagiging 10 billion na. Yun na nagiging problema natin. Yun ang mga nabibigla kami. Meron palang almost 300 million doon. Meron palang 1 billion. Yun na nabibigla kami. Yung after the NEP.
Sir,
Kapag gano'n na nag-umpisa na implementation, Governor, may role ba yung local government sa pagmo-monitor ng project?
Yes. Meron kami. Kaya lang, ang problema natin, hindi ito ang basihan ng pagbayad ng DPWH. Kasi sila, may sarili silang monitoring. No? So, ipinapapaalam lang sa amin kung tapos na. No?
Mayor,
Halimbawa yung contractor, di ba? Kailangan nila ng permit from the local government to start a project. Di ba kailangan nun ng work permit? Kahit man lang magbusina doon sa barangay na, ay mag-umpisa na kami dito maghukay, ganon. Ano yung process
Yes, totoo
doon?
yan. Yes, totoo yan. As a matter of fact, when I was still a mayor, dumidiretso sila sa barangay kasi mas madali nilang makausap yon. Alam mo na, minsan kulang din na alaman nila, mas madali dumidirect sila doon. No? Iniimbita lang yung engineering namin. Minsan nga, sinasabihan ko, bakit kami mag-a-attend? Dapat mauna kayo sa local chief executive muna para malaman natin kung ang project nyo, talagang yun ang kailangan natin. Kaya sa tingin ko ngayon, dahil nga hindi na dumadaan sa tama yung NEP natin, na dapat nandun yan lahat sa RDC o Regional Development Council, kaya marami tayong ganitong problema ngayon.
Governor, I
Bakit
met you when...
napupunduhan
Yeah.
na hindi naman parte ng NEP ng RDC? Dapat baga, siguro balikan ni Pangulo yan na tanungin bakit napupunduhan sa Kongreso na hindi naman approved sa NEP.
Yeah. Governor, matagal na kayo sa LGU, no? I met you when you were Mayor of Legazpi.
Yes. Matagal na po.
Wala ba kayong namomonitor ng mga ghost projects, anomalous projects, low quality projects dyan sa inyong teritoryo? Even before sumabog itong mga anomalous flood control projects na ito sa kasalukuyang landscape.
Well, alam mo, sa dami ng project, no? Sa dami ng may mga ang mga makaduda-duda yung mga halimbawa 100 million pero 3 araw o ilang buwan lang trinabaho. Yan ang nakita kong duda ko. Na inumpisanan lang or pinoprogramahan lang pero tingin ko kasi mahirap din magsalita, no? Pero yan ang mga duda ng mga tao mismo. Kanina nga lang may nagpunta sa akin barangay kung ano yung project na yon. Kasi nabibigla na lang yung mga tao sa barangay na meron palang project kanya.
Okay.
Kaya yung mga ghost, tingin ko, the only way na makuha talaga natin yan, the cooperation with the DPWH. Kung anong programa, dapat talaga puntahan na ngayon. Kaya ako nagpapakuha ako ng listing. Tumutulong ako ngayon. Lahat ng listing ng mga nagawa since 2023 up to 2025. So tutulungan natin ang Pangulo na mahanap natin yung mga project. Kaya kailangan yung mga listing mapunta muna sa Office of the Governor.
Okay. Let us know when you get that full listing. Pero for now, we have to leave the conversation because we're running out of time. Thank you so much for talking to us today, Albay
you.
Governor Noel Rosal.
Salamat, Governor.
Thank you
Thank
po.
you, Governor.
You're watching Storycon on One News. We just need to take a very quick break. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. We've got the developing news and the stories behind the headlines. Welcome back to Storycon. I'm Regina Lay. Still with me, Ami Pamintuan of the Philippine Star. And now in studio, Ronald Llamas, our resident political pundit. Na inis sa traffic today for good reason. Also joining us this afternoon, we've got our second guest. We're talking to Quezon City engineer attorney Dale Peral. Attorney, good afternoon. Thanks for making time for us.
Good
Hi, good
afternoon,
Hi,
attorney.
Hi, good afternoon, ma'am.
So we invited the Quezon City LGU to the show today kasi nga you did a press conference where you talked about anomalies in the flood control projects that you've discovered in your city, and marami-rami tong red flags na to. Why don't you talk us through them? Ano yung mga issues that you found?
Well, first and foremost po, no, there is an existing ordinance
Pakilakas mo.
by the Quezon City government requiring the
Pakilakas.
coordination. Alright.
Go ahead, attorney.
Right. So there is an existing ordinance by the Quezon City government requiring coordination of infrastructure projects implemented by the national government. Unfortunately, we discovered that only 315 out of the 1,652 were actually submitted for coordination. So that's only 19%. And out of that, 138 lang po yung merong approved certificate of coordination. So it's quite challenging because sobrang dami ng projects, and we actually extracted the data from the DPWH website, the project contract management application.
So only
Attorney, yung
19%.
saan ba nakabase yung protocol niya sa ganyan? Meron bang batas dyan or city ordinance or memorandum of understanding with the DPWH tungkol sa ganyan kung paano yung coordination na gagawin with regard to DPWH projects?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, the legal basis are as follows. First, the local government code requires coordination by the national government to with the local government unit. So, in addition thereto, Executive Order Number 124 Series of 1987, which reorganized the then Ministry of Public Works, now Department of Public Works and Highways, requires coordination po by the DPWH to the local government unit. So these two policies po, or these two laws, are part of the legal basis naman po of the ordinance issued by the Quezon City government, which is City Ordinance Number 2939 Series of 2020. So ito po yung Project Coordination Ordinance issued by the Quezon City government. So basically po, ang function nito is first to avoid duplication. Kasi po minsan nagkakaroon po ng duplication funded by national government, and then it will be funded din po by the local government. Sayang po yung pondo, and the implementation po, yung isa necessarily will be terminated. So yun po yung naging directive po ni Mayor Joy Belmonte why we actually issued or enacted this ordinance.
Okay. So first red flag, first problem is very low compliance with the city ordinance. As you said, only 19% applied for permits out of 1,652 projects, and only 8.4% were actually approved. Second issue, merong na-discover na project that had 66 phases. Talk us through that.
Yes, actually, that's the difficulty rin. We tried to inspect all of these flood control projects. By the way, yung kaninang numbers po, which is 1,652, combination na po ng lahat ng projects ito, both vertical and horizontal. But for the flood control projects, the number is around 254 projects amounting to 14 billion pesos. And we tried to inspect all of these projects. However, may difficulty din po kasi, first, how it was named, the project title po, somehow generic. Flood control infrastructure or flood mitigation structure projects, and at the same time, meron pong mga phases. So particularly po, meron pong isang project na phase 66. The title of which is Rehabilitation of Flood Mitigation Structure along San Juan River, phase 66. So, yes, opo. So, yun po, ang
Layo-layo na yun.
Yes, ang mahirap lang po dyan is that the San Juan River po kasi na covered by Quezon City is around 3.4 kilometers. Dalawang banks po yan. So how would we know na kung saan po yung phases 1 to 66?
So, Engineer, ongoing yung inyong mga ginagawang investigation dito sa maraming flood control projects na ito, na minimal yung coordination sa LGU. Yun ang sinasabi nyo. Pero doon sa ongoing yung investigation, meron na ba kayong nakita na mga ghost projects maliban doon sa mga below quality projects?
Sir, actually, sir, we can't determine yet, no, so far as the existence of ghost projects are concerned, and even the substandard ones, we can't yet conclude because we don't have the complete documentation yet. We don't have the plans. We don't have the program of works. What we're saying only po is that yung mga red flags po, it appears to be, it's kind of difficult po to determine what these projects are, or where are these projects and the status of these projects. But again, continuous po ang aming monitoring, and we are coordinating with DPWH to get more information on these projects as well.
Pero
Anong option ninyo, attorney,
yeah.
kung dahil hindi nga nagko-coordinate and it's a violation of certain legal rules, ano yung pwedeng gawin ninyo kapag ganyan?
Marami naman pong legal remedies available, as discussed earlier in the press conference and as discussed by our city legal officer. Pwede pong administrative liability, pwede rin pong criminal liability. It depends po. It depends po doon sa magnitude po of yung posible pong nangyaring irregularity. But then again, for us, it's just verification lang po. Ang objective po ng Quezon City government is to ensure that these projects actually align with the drainage master plan. However, as per initial evaluation, it appears that maraming projects po ang hindi aligned doon sa drainage master plan.
Engineer, ngayon nyo ba ginagawa ito? Dahil sumabog itong controversy sa flood control projects? Or dati nyo pang ginagawa na iniimbestigahan nyo itong mga proyektong ito at humihingi kayo ng adequate na information, halimbawa sa DPWH?
Sir, it's a regular function. It's a regular activity po. Every other week, we meet po sa Infrastructure Committee of the city, and we invite national government agencies, including DPWH. And actually, they present po their projects. Unfortunately, yun nga po, we found out na yung presented project to us is just a fraction of what they actually implement as a whole. Yun, doon po kami nahihirapan kasi especially for flood control projects, very minimal lang po yung in-apply sa amin. It's around 16 projects lang if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And out of these 16 projects, 2 lang po in-approve.
Pero engineer, kung matagal nyo nang ginagawa ito, wala pa kayong mga pina-file na mga reklamo or kaso man lang? Kung matagal nyo nang ginagawa at nakikita nyo na medyo kulang yung binibigay sa inyong information to make an adequate investigation.
Actually, sir, meron naman. It's more of administrative remedy po ang aming in-enforce. For example, for the Matalahib Creek pump station, we immediately issued an objection letter in the form of a cease and desist, basis of which our Building Code of the Philippines and the Water Code po. Kasi the intended project po is built on a non-buildable area. So yun po, nasa administrative liability po yung ating focus po ng exploration of liability.
So wala pa kayo nakikita na contractor na posibleng kasuhan dahil sa mga low quality or ghost projects in the past? Or kaya ay mga government officials na nakita nyo na tainted by corruption in the past? Hindi lang itong kasalukuyan?
Well, actually, sir, with all due respect to the bureaucratic framework that we have, I think that function po falls under a different office. Perhaps the Commission on Audit or the Office of the Ombudsman. Sa amin po, for example, insofar as determining whether or not a project is substandard, for us, medyo may hirapan po tayong tingnan yan kasi otherwise we would be requiring all of these documents to be submitted to us and then we would evaluate further. What we can do po is actually, and as instructed by Mayor Joy, is to forward all of these initial findings to the proper agency which the President would direct or give orders to conduct these investigations.
And then also, just very quickly, Attorney, one of your other findings is 7 out of the top 15 contractors for flood control projects had projects in Quezon City. These are Legacy Construction, Alpha and Omega, St. Timothy, EGB Construction, Top Notch Catalyst, 888, and Wawa Builders. What was the point of showing that in your presentation kanina? Was there anything unusual about their projects in Quezon City?
Well, we assorted po these projects because we wanted to see yung extent po, because these contractors has been reported in the sumbong ng Pangulo, is been presented by the President, so we would want to know ano po yung effect nito sa ating sa lungsod, sa Quezon City. So kaya po namin siya kinuha.
Pero-
Not for anything else.
Oh, pero so far you haven't seen any anomalies yet in the projects that they've conducted in Quezon City.
Yung isa po, the Matalahib Creek pumping station, the structure that will be built, that's actually built, ito pala. Built na pala siya on top of a creek. Dito po sa Matalahib Creek, ang contractor po dyan ay St. Timothy. Meron po silang ka-joint venture.
So, built na yung structure pero nasa budget pa rin. Nasa... Attorney?
Nag-freeze.
Ayun.
Well,
Sorry, nag-freeze ka po. So, built na yung structure, yung sa Matalahib River, but nasa...
built na siya. So, yun po yung isang red flag na nakita natin. Yung isang problematic project that is actually a structure built on an unbuildable area, the contractor of which is one of the top 15 contractors as reported by the President.
Panghuli na lang, engineer.
Which is St. Timothy nga, correct?
Yes, St. Timothy, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's the issue there to be 100% clear?
There is, they built a structure on an area that is non-buildable
Okay.
under the Building Code of the Philippines and the Water Code of the Philippines.
Okay, thank you.
Hindi ba yun maghihingi dapat ng permit sa local government, attorney, yung contractor, kung kahit hindi DPWH, yung contractor, hindi ba sila required na kumuha ng permit from the local government?
Well, ma'am, ang point of view po natin dyan is the coordination should be done by the agency and not the contractor. Because coordination, yes po, under the local government code and the executive order of the DPWH and the coordination ordinance, it should be done po during planning and design. So wala pa pong contractor.
Okay. We have to leave that there for now because we run out of time, but we'll try to get you another time, attorney, or see Mayor Joy Belmonte to shed light on these as you continue your investigation. Thank you so much for talking to us today on StoryCon. Quezon City Engineer, Attorney Dale Peral.
Thank you, attorney.
Thank you, ma'am.
So it's good that...
Yung tatanong ko sana, yung insertions ng mga Quezon City congressmen.
Hindi ko alam if si attorney, si engineer is the right person
Baka
to
hindi
ask
niya
that.
alam yun, no?
We should ask the mayor or the congressman. So sila yung mga kasagot ng tanong na to. Also DPWH. I don't know who the district engineer
District
for Quezon
engineer.
City is, but
Pero Quezon City is the biggest city in NCR. Kaya
Yeah.
maraming kanyan,
In
maraming flood control projects.
perennially
Yeah.
flooded city.
Yes, ang daming creeks niyan. No?
Correct. Okay, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining StoryCon. I'm Ivan Mdon, Editor-in-Chief of the Philippine Star. Ronald Llamas, our resident political pundit. Join us again Monday, 4 p.m. for StoryCon. I'm Regina Lay. We are in One News, all sides, all the time.